You don't need to be an economist to know something is off. Gas prices rising, blackouts increasing, energy talks happening behind closed doors. In the next 5 years, energy will become the single most powerful weapon on earth and the most profitable asset class for those who understand what is coming. That is why we built Cruvon, not to chase returns, but to secure energy sovereignty for nations, for investors, and for what is left of global stability. The current system is dangerously fragile. A large percentage of global energy flows through choke points, vulnerable to disruption. Countries depend on imports they no longer trust, and critical energy infrastructure is decades outdated. Meanwhile, the transition to renewables is being weaponized, not optimized. The lithium race, rare earth monopolies, grid bottlenecks. We have traded oil wars for resource nationalism, and most portfolios are asleep to it. In short, energy is no longer a sector, it is the battlefield. And if you're not positioned right, you are not just missing upside, you are exposed. Cruvon isn't an energy fund, it is an energy sovereignty engine. We invest at the intersection of three verticals: frontier storage and grid intelligence. Because in the coming era, it is not about producing energy, it is about storing it, securing it, and directing it intelligently. We back companies and systems that make the grid resilient, not just renewable. Rare earth extraction and processing. No battery, missile system, or data center works without rare earths. We go upstream into the geopolitical guts of supply chains and ensure Western aligned control. Sovereign grade infrastructure. Our capital backs hard assets, not VC experiment. From AI powered substations to energy failover systems for cities and military bases, we fund infrastructure that keeps nations online when everything else collapses. Energy sovereignty isn't a thesis, it is an inevitability because no country, not the US, not Germany, not India can afford to be energy dependent in an era of de-dollarization, supply chain decoupling, and climate volatility. And no investor can afford to ignore it either. The best capital in the world is already repositioning, not for energy innovation, but for energy control. That is where Cruvon sits, not on trend, but on strategy. Cruvon is open selectively. We bring in only the investors who understand that this isn't about quarterly returns. It is about owning the levers of modern civilization. If your capital deserves a seat at the table where energy becomes power, let's talk. Because the world can run on whatever energy it wants, but only those who control it will win.